Welcome back to 7xyourbusiness.com. 7x sales is the subject of today, and another little beautiful scenery from New Zealand. And yeah, ring and have a chat to one of our 7x coaches, send us a question, grab the resources offline. Those resources continue to be fleshed out. So yeah, and sales, something close to my heart, something that at an early age I realised that the importance of sales, and learned from legends, the Brian Tracy's, the Tom Hopkins, the Zig Ziglars of the world. And over the years I've had the odd person tell me that, Brian Tracy's not relevant anymore, and then a little bit later they go, holy moly, more relevant than ever. So, and one of his programs, The Psychology of Selling, very, very successful. And it was a little bit based on, you're all way too young for this. Back in the day, skiers used to be taught how to ski. So a world champion skier would have a coach that's a really good skier. And then Europeans realised that actually we need somebody that can, they don't need a great skier, they need a great coach. Somebody can get in their head, someone that can help them have the psychology of a winner, be able to visualise their run. And you'll all see it now. You'll see at the beginning of a race, you'll see the skier and visualising. They look funny. Look funny? Maybe not. But they're going through this process of visualising the perfect run. And Psychology of Selling, basically Brian Tracy's number one thing was, I like myself, I like myself. The Psychology of Selling is a general rule, and there's a fun exercise you can see on 7x Your Business. We love our products. 100%. We love our products and services. Customers are good and bad. And sales, well, shocking. Sell their grandmother. So it's really interesting, the Psychology of Selling. It's really important we reframe it and look at it and go, well, actually, second biggest millionaire maker on the planet is sales. And there's some things we can do to make sure we're not being product pushers, oversellers, order takers. And I'm sure you see people like that. You go into business, and before anybody opens their mouth, you can tell that they don't want to be there, pretending to stacking shelves instead of talking to the customer. Or worse, they walk up and say, hi, can I help you? And we are programmed at a subconscious level to say, no, I'm just looking. And retail knows this, but we still get it. So I'm passionate about sales, that's what I'm trying to say. And there's wonderful resources, books, wonderful resources, courses. And really one of the definitions of sales is professionally helping others to buy. Now people can always say no. It's really important to give people the opportunity to say yes. And as long as we've been a solution provider, and there's some rules that I put around that, then we're not product pushers, oversellers or order takers. We can be solution providers. And most of us are in the business of providing a solution to somebody's pain, somebody's challenge, either help them survive or thrive, and that's the business we're in. We're in the business of making money, and we do that by solving people's challenges, solving their problems, and as a general, if we can be, if we're able to identify somebody's challenges and problems, we're a perceived expert at solving them. So the whole rapport building, the whole diagnostic process of asking questions has become more and more important, so that we've been a modern salesperson. We're professionally helping others to say yes. And what does professional mean? Well, if I ask you what professions, quite often people come up with lawyers and doctors and people that train. It's the same for us in sales. It's very important we build our knowledge, that we look at, it's one of the 7 pillars, sales. And make sure that we're training, we're working on our processes and systems around them. So what I'd like us to look at today is the 2 different, Tom Hopkins presented the 2 different sales processes. And the first one is need, help, trust, hurry. Need, help, trust, hurry. And a lot of the time we think that this is the business we're in. We see somebody with a need, we help them, and then we try to build trust, and then we hurry. Now, if I go to my doctor and my arm's bleeding, I want him to identify my need, help me, Then have a chat to me about how I am. Have I had my 50th checkup? Have and create some urgency. Tell me some stories that if I don't have it, you could die. So I want my doctor to do that. My doctor knows me well enough. He just goes, I'm booking you in for your next checkup now. Because if he leaves it to me, I'll forget, I'll get distracted. So yeah, there are times when this is the sales process. Somebody walks in and they're bleeding. Yeah, we've got to help them. The second one that Tom Hopkins identified is the one that majority of the time we're in. Now I'm purposely only putting the initials down here so that you can rewind this a couple of times and write them down yourself. So the second process is trust, need, help, hurry. Now, what does that mean? Well, if we've got a 7-step sales process, which you can find on 7X Your Business, the first 5 steps are all about building trust. And number 1 is pre-qualify. Now, if you've got no customers, you're going to go see anybody with or without a pulse. If you're really busy, you're going to qualify really hard before you're going to invest your time to go see somebody. Your qualification, you may want all the decision makers there, or the qualification is they live in a geographical area. Whatever the way you qualify your leads, your marketing activities want to be aimed at qualified leads. People that are in our target market, people that we can provide a solution to because they'll have the challenge and they'll see the result by working with us. So we pre-qualify, we build rapport, and EQ, as you'll see in other videos, is becoming more and more important. Our personality, our brand, our EQ, how we understand ourselves, how we understand others is really important. So still in the trust stage, it's all about building rapport. How do we get people talking? How do we get people laughing? How do we get people engaged? Find things in common. And so we find things in common, we start talking about New Zealand and we have a great chat about that. The third step is to take control with a positioning statement. And this positioning statement, there's examples that you can go and check out. The positioning statement is to be learned word for word. And I'd much rather somebody read it out word for word in front of the prospect, in front of the target market, than forget it. The reason being is, rule number 1 is if we haven't built trust, we go home. Haven't built trust, go home. So to build trust, we need to take control. We've got the person talking, we've got them engaged. It's now really important that we build in that relationship. I give them context of what's going to happen in the meeting. So George, is it okay if I outline how I'd like the meeting to go today? Excellent. Can I let you know a little bit about myself, a little about the company and how we solve the problems to similar target markets to yourself. If we can then see a benefit in working with one another, I can ask you to make a decision so we can get that underway. Is that okay? Excellent. So now we've gone from, we're pre-qualified, we've got them talking, now we've taken control. And to help people, when I go to my doctor, I want my doctor asking me questions, not me asking the doctor questions. I want to ask questions as well, but I want them to lead it. They're the other one with the knowledge that can help me. So now we've built trust. We tell a little bit about ourselves so that we can show empathy and authority. The same with our business, how we share stories. And then we go into our needs analysis. So if the meeting's an hour long, I might spend 20 minutes building trust. The bigger the item, the more time we need to spend as a general rule building trust. We also need to understand if it's a presentation to get an invite to the board, or is it a presentation for them to be able to sign up on the day. And that doesn't matter whether an arborist was wanting to chop down a tree on a property, or that arborist going to a school and wanting to be their contractor. It's knowing what the outcome of that meeting is. It's not always a walk away with a check. It could be to get a meeting in front of the board of trustees or the board. So then it's a role to do needs analysis, and we really want to know what their challenges are. People will move much faster away from pain than they will towards pleasure. And we really want to dig in deep, and I call it asking dumb questions. So, what is your number 1 challenge? Why did you pick that? What's the impact on you? What's the impact on the business? What's the impact on your family? And how do you feel about it? Digging right into it so that I don't accept the first answer I hear, and I need to get some pain. So in the needs analysis, I'm going to dig around a bit and find some pain. I want to find the real answer. I want to find, why am I really here? What is the real pain? What's the real, is it to help you thrive? Is it to help you survive? What is it that we're talking about? So, because if I can identify the need, well then I can be this perceived expert at solving it. I also can show them that their problem, we have a solution, and this is the result. This is the problem, here's our solution, this is the result you'll get. So, the help part. So then, once again, we never offer help unless we identify a need. Otherwise, we're a product pusher. So hence why we build trust, we identify need. No trust, go home. No need, don't offer a solution. And I've seen that lots of times. I couldn't find the pain on a board of a business, and go, well, actually, if you guys are happy with what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. I probably could have asked better questions, because normally there's always pain. But the point is, without finding the pain, don't offer a solution. And then once we have found the pain, we let them know how we can help, what that looks like. We create hurry. And the best way to create urgency, create hurry, is telling stories. Understand how you feel, others have felt the same way. This is what they found. You know, the 3 F's, it's a very cool tool. Understand how you feel, others have felt the same way, edifies their feelings, and then this is what they found. It's a really good way of being able to have a conversation with people to help create urgency. Oh, I want to think about it, let's be friends. Yeah, those sort of things. So, well, let me share a story with you. And creating urgency is really important. And by the way, a big number of sales are never followed up. So at this stage, it's all about follow up, follow up, follow up. And years ago, I got asked to coach a whole group of coaches, business coaches in Ireland. And once a week, I jump on the phone with them, and they wanted some closing techniques. And my personality is to disrupt a little bit. And I said, well, can somebody please tell me how do you build rapport? And they go, no, we want to understand closing techniques. I said, I'd like to understand how much time you're spending building rapport. And the upshot of that, they went, okay, we get what you're saying, Tony, we need to spend more time. They were getting in and out of appointments in 45 minutes, and I'm saying you need to be with a business owner for 3 hours. No, not 45 minutes. So double your time. Spend more time getting to know them. Have a look around their business. Build rapport with them. See if there's a connection. Find some common ground. And then, actually, it might have been monthly I was ringing, talking to them from down in Kiwiland. Well, the next call, it was, oh, that's working great. Now we want some, techniques on closing, overcoming objections. I said, cool. So who on the call? There's 30 of them. Who can do their positioning statement? It was a round number. Nobody could do their positioning statements. Okay, go away and learn your positioning statements. So you can sort of understand where the story's going, is that first of all, we'll spend more time building trust, then spend time taking control by having a positioning statement. And as soon as I get my positioning statement out and I say, I'm going to let you know a little bit about myself, a little bit about the company, how we work with people like you, and how then I'm going to do that. So many times what happens when I allow the other person to control the process, I walk out going, oh, it was a nice chat, but I didn't let them know anything about me, didn't let them know anything about the business. We just ended up going straight to a solution, and they just want to know how much and when they could have it. Then they go and talk to their business partners, and they go, what are you talking about? We don't even know who these people are. So yeah, sales, it's professionally helping others to buy. Professionals, we train. Professionals, we build rapport. We never offer a solution before identifying a need, and we create urgency, and we certainly follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up. You know, and create those KPIs, put around your process, and salespeople love this. I love getting salespeople to have daily reporting, the KPIs to follow up within 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever the appropriate timelines are. And also to make sure if it is some sort of sales process that requires tenders or things, get them in early. And ideally, if you can meet and have conversations with those people, makes a huge difference. If you can meet and have a chat with them before putting in the tender, it makes a massive difference. Go, okay, I've got a bit more of an understanding of what's really important to you and your stakeholders, and being able to adjust to that. It's amazing when we invest in people how they want to help us as well. So we normally learn a lot of information on how we could solve their problems and challenges. And different target markets are different. You know, for one industry, the challenge will be totally different from another industry. And you're solving problems for both, but it's really important to understand for that industry, what is their challenge? How do we make them look good? How do we make sure that we're pain relief for them? How do we make sure we can show them we understand how we can help them not only survive but thrive? And in different industries, some of it's about money, other parts of it's nothing to do with money. So, yeah. So sales, as I said, I'm a bit passionate about it. Go check out the tools at 7xyourbusiness.com. There's all templates that you can fill in your positioning statement. You can have a review of your sales process, and there's some cool little training tips and tools on there as well. So, as you can see, I'm a bit sunburnt. It was not much snow on those hills that day either, so probably in the summer somewhere. Mum and Dad have just gone down the Milford track to celebrate their 60th anniversary, which I think is a milestone well achieved. Put up with a Casey for that long, my mum's a legend. Later.